From a galaxy far, far away to the final frontier, the depths of the universe have long since fascinated us on the big screen. I'm Katelynn Pedri.
And I'm Paul Gursky. This month on Theme on Screen, we're headed to space as we explore the furthest reaches of the universe.
Strap on your spacesuit as we blast off and explore Theme on Screen. And remember, in space, no one can hear the sound of the paddle on Timmy Chalamet's ass.
Well, hello, everyone. It's me, Paul. You might remember me from previous podcasts. Here we are.
Not.
I don't actually remember how to podcast. It's been so long. But we have
Well,
made
you
it
remembered
to
that we were
episode
still
17.
rocking that Timmy Chalamet ass, so
How could I forget Timmy Chalamet's
that's
ass?
not going anywhere anytime soon.
I don't know. I think we might retire it. I haven't thought of a good bit to fit that into April's theme.
Every month should have a Timmy Chalamet movie. Maybe that.
Well, we don't really need to get too far ahead of ourselves, but I don't think there's anything that fits with the theme that we have for April. That I don't think Timmy has voiced any animated characters.
Oh yeah. Alert.
Yeah. So anyway, episode 17, everyone. We've done it. We have a new theme. It's the month of March. I'm back. I know everyone probably thought this was turning into just like a horny girl talk about Jacob Elordi podcast, but no, I've returned to save it. So
the people loved it.
Yay.
The people ate that up, just like I ate up Wuthering Heights. The people loved it.
Well, did they?
I think so. If you guys didn't, I mean, we'll just not watch Wuthering Heights again, I guess.
Could this just become a Wuthering Heights podcast? We just watch every iteration of the movie, read the book.
Oh my gosh, what if we just read the book out loud to the listeners?
I think it's public domain, so we could probably get away with that.
It's
not very good. I think the book is just, it's crazy. It's
Plus,
so bad.
One of the one guy from that they do the book perspective from, isn't it very difficult to read? Because it's like written as if he was speaking like phonetically.
Maybe. It's been
a long time
since I've read it. I don't actually even know. I might have put my copy in a tiny library or something because I was like, I don't even want this on my bookshelf anymore.
I'm literally not doing this again.
Yeah. So anyway. What are movies?
Have you watched any recent ones besides our one for today?
Probably have. I did watch Primate the other night, so Kate and I finally got to see it after having to leave the theater the last time we tried to watch it.
That was the one that you had to get.
I don't have a lot to say about it. I mean, it's exactly what you would want it to be. It's, kind of CW-ish looking teenagers getting killed by a chimpanzee.
Do they all die?
I mean, I'm going to spoil the movie Primate right now. Not all of them die, but most of them do die. It's a horror movie where the villain's chimp. It's a rabid chimp. And, I felt bad because I liked the chimp. Spoilers for the movie Primate, he is eventually stopped. But
how did they get a hold of this primate, this ape? How did they get a hold
So
of
their
him?
mom was a chimp studier. Or no, I think she studied linguistics, but they have a chimp that lives with them that she was teaching to speak. So it's got a little computer screen that it can say words, and it knows some sign language because the dad's deaf. And he's a real good friend until he gets bitten by a mongoose, and the mongoose has rabies, and then he becomes rabid and goes crazy. And they don't take it seriously at first because apparently there's no rabies in Hawaii. I didn't look it up to verify if that was true, but I did see that there's no rabies in Australia. So maybe that's just one benefit of living on an island, that rabies can't get to you.
The downside of living in Australia is, though, that the spiders are size of dinner plates.
Yeah,
so
everything else in Australia will kill you. But I don't know. They also breed people like Jacob Elordi and Margot Robbie, so.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes.
I think that might be the only thing that I've actually watched. Hasn't been I have to pull up my phone and check Letterboxd in case I'm missing something, but.
Well, it's been slim pickings for me, too. Just because I've been playing so much video game.
Still playing your Pokemon game?
I'm sorry. I can't stop until I catch them all. I'm Ash Ketchum with a dream.
Oh. Well, the other movies I did watch were the ones that Katie talked about last week, so 28 Years Later, The Bone
she already
Temple
did it for you?
and Muppet Treasure Island. I did stay awake for Muppet Treasure Island, so I can actually say I watched that, unlike her, but that's been it.
Well, none for me, like I said, just Pokemon Z to A. It's so good.
We're the best movie hosts.
Do you like Pokemon?
I've never really played a Pokemon game. I think I tried to play the original Game Boy ones, and I just didn't think they were very fun. So I've played Pokemon Go, like,
Oh,
that summer of
yeah.
Pokemon Go. But I was a little too old when Pokemon started. I think I started middle school or something, and I was just a little too cool for. And it was also on so early in the morning. I don't
All
think I
too
ever got to
cool.
watch it. I know. I was coming off my big Dragon Ball and Sailor Moon phase, but I was too cool for Pokemon. Go figure.
Right, exactly. Okay. Well, yeah, if we didn't watch any other movies, we could just move into if you did anything fun. I'm
This is
looking
gonna
for
be
some
such a
fun.
short
Wow,
fucking
this is such a
podcast.
short one.
I haven't
Yeah.
done jack shit.
We didn't do shit.
I mean, I know from listening to this podcast that you didn't have any plans last weekend.
That's true. Thank you. Well,
Did you
I
do
went out
anything?
well, I went out on Friday with FOP Katelynn. We had drinks and food, and that was a lovely time. Um, I had 2 margaritas. She had it doesn't matter what she had. I don't wanna call her out, like, but she had 2 drinks too. And we just had a nice time, and it was just nice to connect with somebody, outside of the screen. So, um, yeah. She's just a great coworker. You don't get those a lot in your older age, I guess, and especially with, me being the supervisor of my team, and she's not directly underneath me or anything, so it's not, like, frowned upon, but it's just nice to find somebody to connect with. They get the same things and the same frustrations. Yeah, I like hanging out with her. So that's all
I
I
haven't
did on
had a
Friday.
good friend at work and since Matt Turner when I met him.
Yeah, see, that's what I mean. It's like it's hard to find somebody to connect with because you just want to go home.
I'm just making all my friends from work feel bad. Lindsay, Austin, I don't know. I've probably worked with other people, but Matt Turner's the only one I really like.
Well, were you working with them before or after the Matt Turner time? Because your
After.
most recent good friend could be Matt Turner. It's not. It is.
So yeah, I definitely didn't do anything this weekend. Didn't even watch movies. I'm not sure what we did. Oh, we
Well, did
finished a
you
lot of things this weekend. We finished the puzzle that we talked about so many episodes ago around the holidays. We finally finished that. We
did you just leave
finished
that
watching
sitting
the
out? How do you
books.
like work around a full or a half done puzzle?
I mean, we don't really use our table for anything, so we just left the puzzle on the table.
Yeah. Yeah, I got
I mean, your table's enormous. You could have dinner and a puzzle on your table.
I could have a full dinner party and also a table or and also
Hmm.
a puzzle on the table.
Yeah, I finished a puzzle. I don't know. It was a pretty good weekend.
Wow. We're like really boring, everybody. I'm so sorry.
I know I get back to the podcast and I've got nothing to talk about. Well,
You
we've
had
got a
all
lot
that
of stuff
time to
coming
work
up.
on something.
We
We
needed to
do.
take last weekend off because we have so many things in the near future that we will have to talk about. Or we could talk about what we're
Mhm.
going to be doing now if we want to just fill some time and not seem as lame. I don't know.
Well, yeah, because my next thing was going to be like, and I cleaned the bathroom. And I was going to get really deep into my cleaning routine, what products I use. So if you want to do your thing instead,
Well, we could save that for Caitlin's cleaning YouTube channel with Caitlin's cleaning tips.
I'll put my tips in the caption. Tips in the caption.
I don't know what's something. So yeah, we've got something fun coming up that I guess we can still talk about next week because we'll actually have seen the movies. But we are going
Okay.
to see the live action and animated Oscar nominated shorts this weekend.
Yes, we're lucky enough to have a screening available to us through the local museum. Should I say that? Could I just say it? I mean,
I mean,
nobody's going to find
it's the
us.
Detroit Institute of the Arts.
Yeah.
I think
The local museum.
this episode won't come out until after we've already done this.
Yeah, so
So
you can't like
that's
technically
fine.
find us there. You
Yeah.
could find me there on a regular day just looking at the third floor Renaissance art, but yeah, like I said, we're lucky enough that the DIA is putting on a screening of all of the Oscar shorts, so we're going to enjoy that and talk to you guys a little bit about what we see. Maybe.
Yeah, I think it'll be fun. It was fun last year. Last year was the first time that I went, and there were some that were a little weird, but some that were enjoyable. And after seeing all of them last year, I correctly picked both of the winners. So we'll see if I can do that again.
Wow, you really know
And
your
then,
animation.
well, it was just the one that I liked the most, and apparently so did all the Oscar voters.
Yeah, yeah. Put this guy on the Oscar nominating pool.
Yeah,
I
why
can't
not?
even
I've
talk.
got a podcast. I don't know.
Yeah. And
Have you
then
seen
tomorrow,
a movie at the Detroit Film Theater before?
no.
Okay, it's first time for you. Cool.
Yeah, I had to think about it. Do they have like a red carpet? Can I take my picture on it and stuff?
I actually think they did do a red carpet event for the shorts last weekend.
Ah,
I
missed my
think it was more
opportunity.
expensive because it had food and stuff, and you got your picture taken on the red carpet. But you
Yeah, I
know,
need something for my Instagram.
maybe next year we can do that.
I haven't updated it since December.
Shame.
Hate to
Wow,
see it. I know.
we're really giving the people the content they want.
They really care. And then, like I said last week, with Katie, that we are going to go see Scream 7 tomorrow.
I'm excited for that. And I'm sure we'll have a little recap of that on the pod too, because
Yeah,
we've
we'll
got
give
to
you a
see how it fits
little
into
juice.
your Scream rankings. See if those change at all.
Well, I don't know if I said it on the show or not because I was re-listening and I didn't get to that part yet, but I'm pretty sure. Yes, I did. I did say it. I think I know who Ghostface is this time around. I think I got it.
Do you think Jamie Kennedy didn't die and he was in a mental institution and he's now Ghostface?
It wasn't Jamie Kennedy. It was Matthew Lillard.
Oh, well, sure, maybe. I don't know.
Oh my gosh. Have you even watched any of the other Screams so that you're caught up? You only
I've
have like a few
seen.
hours to do it.
I'm not gonna rewatch the Scream movies, but I've seen all of the Scream movies.
Okay, you better not lean over to me and ask me who someone is or what they're saying.
You know, I'd rather die than talk during the movie.
No, literally. And and actually, this might be one of the few episodes where we don't talk about people talking in the theater. You guys can get a little reprieve from that because we didn't go out. So
But maybe next week if people suck at Scream.
maybe next week. No, but did you notice that when you go to choose a movie at Imagine, if it's after 6 p.m., it says they won't let you in if you're underage.
Under 17. Yeah,
Yeah.
you have to be with a legal guardian. So I don't know. I mean, that's cool, but I do think it doesn't really matter the age of a person. People just tend to suck. So I guess we'll see if this new theater chain we're checking out is going to be our new theater chain of choice. And if it is, good for them, because we'll just post a lot of content about how we hate MJR.
Yep. Are you gonna order chicken tenders?
I was not planning to order any food, but if you're gonna,
Oh.
you don't eat chicken, so you probably won't get chicken
No, I wasn't
tenders.
gonna order chicken, but Katie and I said we got to try it out. So maybe we should just
Try
get like a
ordering
small
from the
pizza
app.
delivered to us. Yeah, just get
Mm.
a small pizza delivered to us. We could share.
See, the problem I have with that is then people are on their phones during the movie, and that's also annoying. But I guess if I have to choose the lesser of two evils,
Yeah. Yeah. Or maybe it knows you're in the theater and it automatically turns down your brightness or something. Or you can order it before. I can also just put in an order before and we pick it up.
yeah, I did notice that I can't actually place an order for any food because I don't have any tickets, since you are the one that purchased the tickets.
Next time you can order
So,
the tickets. I'll do
okay.
that for you.
All right, well, is
All
that
right.
enough chatter about what we're doing this weekend?
Yeah, I think that's good. I wanted to ask some questions about space, but I was like, I guess I don't know as much about space as I know about like maybe ancient Egypt. That was like the thing I was obsessed with when I was a kid. You know how some kids get obsessed with like dinosaurs, trains, rocks, whatever. I was obsessed with ancient Egypt. Were you obsessed with anything?
Anything as a kid? I mean, I say dinosaurs is probably the closest thing. I know that's kind of not the most unique and fun answer, but yeah, I literally remember seeing the trailer for Jurassic Park the first time. I was 8 years old when that came out, and might have been one of my first PG-13 movies in theater. I remember my parents had to ask people at church if it was okay to take me to see it if it was too scary for like an 8-year-old. And they're
Oh,
like, "Oh, maybe." And they took me to see it anyway, and I wasn't scared, and it was the best. So, but I loved dinosaurs before that, so the fact that there was even a dinosaur movie coming out just kind of blew my little mind.
So you had like dinosaur books and dinosaur
But yeah,
stuffed animals and
I don't know if I had any dinosaur stuffed animals, but
dinosaur outfit.
I can't speak to that. We'll have to ask Cindy.
All right. Well, maybe.
So
But like I
what was
said,
it about Egypt that you loved? Did you ever see the movie Stargate?
no. Is that
Hmm.
space Egypt?
To the best of my recollection, yes.
No, I was obsessed with the Jumpstart games. Are you familiar with those? So there's like Jumpstart first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade. It was a computer game and it taught you skills and, maybe math, science, reading, comprehension skills, puzzles, things like that for your grade level. And Jumpstart fourth grade was Egypt themed. And I played it even past like fourth grade. Like I just kept playing it because it was so good. And like I was learning about hieroglyphs and it was teaching you about like I said, ancient Egypt. And I was literally obsessed. And I'm still like obsessed, but John says I can't go because they're quite war torn. But so it wouldn't
Oh
be
yeah, probably
super
not the
safe.
best time for Egypt right now.
Yeah,
Um, well, I don't really have any interesting things about space except did you know that I went to space camp?
that is really interesting. No, I did not.
So I guess now's your chance. Ask me anything you want to know about space camp.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. What happens at space camp? I mean,
I
were you
honestly
learning
don't
about
remember. It
space?
was sixth grade. I'm sure we learned about space. The
Did
thing
you
that I remember the
do one of
most,
those like where they whip you around to like see if you can survive like anti-gravity or whatever?
the centrifuge, yeah, they had that. We did that. The thing I remember the most, though, it was basically just the power tower. Probably smaller than the power tower, but
They had like
they
their
would just
own?
shoot you up and drop you down. And then
Yeah.
you'd kind of bounce a little bit because it's like a rubber band. I remember that. I remember I shared a hotel room with some guys. One of them, my friend Brad, and he had a crush on a girl named Laura. So we wrote in the hotel window, like, Laura called this room. She never did.
What did you do, like fog it up and try to write it?
No, we ripped a piece of paper out and like
Oh,
stuck it
okay.
to the window. Yeah, that
So
they
did
did not end up
everybody have to
together.
go? It wasn't like you chose to go to space camp.
It was not mandatory because you had to pay for it. So I would say, like, I
Oh.
don't know, maybe half of the class. We didn't have a very big school, but a decent amount of people went. Up until, I want to say 3 years ago, and this is not a joke. And we can clip this and just kind of
No, whatever it
put
is,
her
we're
on
keeping it.
blast for it. My sister Taylor thought when I went to space camp that I was actually in space.
Oh,
She thought
Taylor.
they sent sixth grade children to outer space in that
Was she
Huntsville,
like crying at
Alabama.
home to your mom?
Yeah, probably. Well, she would have been, I don't know, first grade, kindergarten, something like that at the time. So, and she's still not very smart.
I
So,
mean, if you don't
yeah,
know much about space, it's not a wild conclusion to jump to.
that they would just send children to space.
Yeah, well, they're not really discussing space to like first graders at that point.
Yeah. Well, but she really did think of this until she was like 30 years old. So she never put it together
I
that
don't
her
think that's
brother.
true, Paul, because if like my brother, if I had a brother and I'm like, I knew he went to space, that would be like something I would tell people. Like, yeah, that's Paul. He's been in space.
I think that's how she finally got called out on it. Yeah.
Well, if you had to go to space now, do you think you would survive?
Oh, absolutely not. I'm not good at anything.
I can barely survive on Earth, frankly. Like, I don't think I could survive in any type of rough terrain, any extreme weather conditions. Uh, all I can think about is like my period or getting tummy aches. Like, how am I supposed to take care of myself in space?
You can't even take care of yourself on Earth, so there's no
I
way it's
can't
going to
even
happen
do
in
it down
space.
here. I'm
Yeah.
barely surviving. I've got a tummy ache every day. What is my
We would,
space partner gonna do?
yeah, we'd have to take Katie with us to take care of us, and then she would get so sick of taking care of us in space that she would space
She
murder
would literally
us.
launch herself out of like the
I
hole in
figured
the
she'd
back and
shoot
be like, I
us
gotta
out of
go.
the airlock. I don't know if she'd kill herself.
I don't know. We can be pretty terrible.
Yeah.
Um, and then I just wanted to know what your favorite planet was.
It's Mars, because I really like the idea of terraforming Mars. Have you ever played the board game Terraforming Mars?
No.
It's a fun board game about terraforming the planet Mars. Or the book series or television series, The Expanse. Did you ever watch that show?
John did. John watched that one.
It's a good show and a good bunch of books, and Mars is terraformed on that, and they're kind of like a whole separate entity from Earth, and I feel like
But I
at some
don't think
point there's
that's
a
the
war.
one we could live on, right? That's not the one that they think we could live on.
No, the one that we could live on, what was that? Wolf's Planet or something?
Yeah. Well, I mean, in real life,
I don't.
like,
It
isn't there
would be
one?
Mars.
It is. I thought that one.
Yeah,
I
it's.
thought it was made of sand. I thought it was like sandy and hot. So it's like a
So you don't
desert.
know anything about planets.
I used to know a lot more about planets. I did, because I was going to say that my favorite planet was Saturn, but it's because it has rings on it.
Oh, I get it. Like a Beyonce song.
I used to know a lot more about space. I did. And you could do the like, what was it? The mnemonic device to like remember what order they were in.
My very excellent mother just sent us 9 pizzas.
Is that it? Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds about right. Yeah. I used to
It's
know
not
stuff.
anymore though, because of the pizza. Pluto's no longer a planet.
Pizza's
So
gone. Pizza
yeah, my
planet
very
is
excellent
gone.
mother just sent us, which that changes the meaning. Like, where is she sending us?
Space.
Maybe into space. Yeah.
Yeah. To float into the abyss. And then I was also just wondering before we end things here, if you could just explain the theory of relativity and time-space continuums as they relate to black hole theories.
Yeah, I can do that. So, um, okay, and before we start the movie real quick, I'm sick of talking about how we've lost people on this show, but just another shout out, Robert Carradine. I think we both talked about how much we loved Lizzie McGuire.
Lizzie McGuire,
And,
yep.
yeah, so Lizzie McGuire's dad, really sad, tough loss. And yeah, hopefully the next episode we don't have to have any sad news in this section of the podcast.
Yeah. And I also just saw that Martin Short's daughter, she passed away as well, which
Yeah,
I
I
don't
think
believe that
was
she
only
was an
early
actor,
40s.
but I've always liked Martin Short, so that's really sad for him and his family. So
Yeah, let's stop with the tough news. Only good news from here
I
on
have some
out.
good news. We watched a movie this week and we're going to talk about it.
Yay, we're starting a new theme. It's space. And the movie was...
We're in space. Oh, you want me to say it?
We're in space.
Interstellar.
Interstellar.
And I feel like bummed that I had not seen it yet. So I'm glad we chose
surprised.
this.
I also haven't seen this movie, but let's talk
How did
about
it
the cast.
slip through our cracks?
Or let's go through the little bit of the cast first.
Go for it.
So this movie is led by Matthew McConaughey as Coop, Anne Hathaway as Dr. Amelia Brand, Jessica Chastain as Murphy Cooper, aka Coop's daughter. She's also played by Mackenzie Foy as a child, and Ellen Burstyn as an elderly woman. Then John Lithgow, Donald, Coop's father-in-law, Murph's grandpa. Michael Caine as Professor John Brand, Casey Affleck as Tom Cooper, little Timmy Chalamet as young Tom Cooper, and then there's some other people.
I think you hit the main points on
There's
the
some
head.
big ones. There's a big surprise in this movie.
There's a lot of really great actors in this movie. So
The surprise is Matt Damon, everyone.
I was gonna say, is that what you think he's the surprise?
From what I listened to in various places doing research for this movie, people knew he was in the movie, but they didn't like put him on the poster or the trailers or anything, so people just kind of forgot. And by the time it gets around to Matt Damon, you're like, oh shit, I forgot Matt Damon was in this movie. So yes, he was a surprise.
Yeah, I had a feeling just because I've heard people talk about Miller's Planet like so much, on like Instagram Reels and stuff, because they were talking about how much time would have passed at this point, and he would have only been up there for like an hour, or it would have been an equivalent of like an hour, and it's been 40 years, like we said. But we'll get into that. I've seen all that stuff.
What's a planet?
I'll talk about the plot.
Okay, you explain the plot to us.
Okay, I was really worried, you guys, that I'm like, wow, I finished watching it. I'm like, oh wow, like that was a great movie. Could I explain it to anybody? Probably not. Like, what did I even just watch? So I'm going to do my best here. I did a little bit from memory and a little bit from Googling, and I'm so sorry, everyone. In the near distant future, the world is becoming uninhabitable. There's shortages of food and other resources, and there's constant dust and dirt flying through the air. Here we meet Cooper and his family, Grandpa, Tom, and Murph. Cooper used to be a pilot, and he also loves space, and he knows a lot about time travel, which he's passed on to his daughter, Murph. Through a series of what we think are random instances, Cooper is drawn to a location by floating dust in his daughter's room during one of the biggest dustings they've had lately. The dust leads him to a location that is a far drive, and Murph stows away in the car to go with him. They end up at a NASA facility, even though the world doesn't have money to fund that type of thing anymore. They are kind of an underground NASA situation. Cooper is then recruited to help this team because they've located a wormhole that will take them to another planet that they could inhabit. Cooper leaves his family and joins Anne Hathaway, Brand, Doyle, and Romilly to venture into space to find the wormhole, go through it, and locate 2 other astronauts on other separate planets to get their research to send back to Earth. After being duped,
astronauts.
It was 3. See,
Mm-hmm.
After being duped by one, realizing the other is dead, and I guess whatever happened to the other one, because now I can't remember.
Also
losing
dead.
losing 2 astronauts of their own. That are on their own mission, Cooper tells Brand he has enough to get the last planet, but he ends up detaching her spacecraft, sending her careening into space while he enters a 5-dimensional space hole situation, which, surprise, is behind the bookshelf in his daughter's bedroom where the dust told them to go. It was Coop the whole time. Literally, don't ask me how. In the end, humanity saves itself through the future, mostly because in space, time flows differently. And even though he feels like he was only gone for maybe a week, it was really like 90 years.
Yeah,
Did I
that's
do
a good
okay?
enough attempt. I think you're wrong about some of the points, but I don't know enough about the theory of relativity. Uh, Time doesn't flow differently in space. Like, if you just go into space, the people on the space station aren't like they're not experiencing different time. It's because of the
Yes, it
gravity and the
is.
proximity to the black hole. What? No, there's
But that
still
would make
like
it
if you
different, though. That would make it
yeah that
different. We're not close to the black
but like
hole, so it's
people on the
different.
international station, like it's not just being in space is where flat. Like you could go to the moon and it's still going to be a 24-hour cycle. Like you're
Okay,
not
so
going to
I didn't
gain
get
time.
into the way that time flows in front of a black hole. I'm sorry.
Okay, well,
You
I'm
go ahead.
just
You go ahead.
I'm, it's not just in space where time flows differently.
It was so scientific, but like so good. That's all I can say.
Just
Like
say
it,
timey-wimey stuff like Doctor Who. Like the Doctor Who's explanation of time is timey-wimey. I know you're a big Doctor Who fan. I can tell by
yeah,
that
can
look
you
on your
tell?
face.
Yeah, you can definitely tell. Well, what do you want to talk a little do you want to just go into like you want to talk a little bit about Christopher Nolan?
Chris Nolan. So yeah, this is one of my big Chris Nolan blind spots, and I'm glad that I crossed it off. I only have a few more left, and I will have seen all of his movies. Um,
Me too.
Chris Nolan, our I don't know, best director at making giant, big budget crowd pleasers that are also good.
Yeah. And yeah, big budget crowd pleasers that are also really good, and he's really into like time. And I just kind of wrote down that he just like I like when directors kind of just have a niche and they kind of, they really go for it. Like he just loves thinking about time, discussing time, working with time. He does that in a lot of his movies.
He does. Do you have a first Nolan or favorite Nolan, or
Probably A Dark
have you
Knight
seen Memento? Is what I'm
Rises.
asking.
Yes. Yes, I have.
So even that is, spoiler alert for Memento, the movie is basically played backwards. So even
Yep.
his second film ever, the one that really put him on the map, is playing with time in interesting ways.
Yeah. I don't know much about him as a person, but he's probably really smart. Like, he's got to understand what he's doing. So I think I know, like, I think that and then he also worked with a doctor of space. That sounds so stupid
So it was
to make this
Dr.
movie, Dr.
Kip
Kip.
Thorne, I believe. Yes.
Yeah. To make sure everything was like super accurate. And I mean, it could have been completely wrong and I wouldn't even have known, but it felt like so accurate. I felt so sciencey after. I felt so good about space after.
So from what I read, Dr. Kip Thorne, he was very insistent on everything being as scientifically accurate as possible, and they did a lot of research and like, this is how time would work on a planet with this percent of gravity this close to a black hole, and the
Yep.
only thing that is not scientifically accurate is the inside of the black hole, because no one knows what the inside of the black hole is, so they just made that up. Probably not Mackenzie Foy's, like the back of Mackenzie Foy's bookshelf, but you never know. We have no proof.
Well, I can't wait to
Um,
discuss the bookshelf because I thought that part was
because you love
great.
books.
Oh, I sure do.
So yeah, Nolan definitely though a director that I really enjoy his films. I think I just have to watch Dunkirk, Tenet, and the one that I always forget was his movie.
That very
Now I'm
first
just
one?
well, yeah, the first one I don't even know if that one counts because isn't that? I mean, I
Are you
guess.
thinking
Oh, the
of?
Insomnia. I always forget that Insomnia exists, and I have never seen
Oh,
that.
yeah.
But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but obviously, a huge Batman fan. Those movies were really important to me, and Prestige and Oppenheimer is a movie that I saw with Katelynn and her husband on 70 millimeter IMAX, and that was a fun experience.
Oh,
And
sick. Yeah.
really loved that movie, and I'm definitely looking forward to the Odyssey, which
Oh, I was just going to say, we're looking forward to the Odyssey for sure.
we will definitely be returning to Nolan movies this summer, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's on the
Yeah.
schedule, so I guess we'll see if we change our mind. But
I'm not changing my mind about Odyssey.
okay,
I got to see that. So yeah, I was just like I was saying, I have now seen 9 of his movies. So,
fine.
and I think there's 17 if I counted correctly. Yeah,
We don't have to count right now. Or do you
that's
want to
fine.
just turn this into a counting podcast?
It's a counting podcast. Also, me talking about Egypt, and then we're gonna read books.
So yeah, first segment will be Caitlin's Egyptology, then we'll read a chapter from Wuthering Heights, and then we
Mm-hmm.
just say numbers.
Yeah. Yeah, we just
We
get
should put
started.
that podcast out. I bet it's going to do better than this podcast. That will be
That's
the
gonna
thing
pull
that
numbers.
sucks. We're going to
Or we
become very
just
famous for our counting.
figure out, like, we just tell the listeners about black holes and wormholes and relativities and times and whatever.
I don't understand
Speaking
those
of,
things either, so
yeah. Well, that brings me, do you want to do themes? We can talk about themes.
we're going to talk about things. Do we want to say our thoughts of the movie first, though?
Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't.
I hated this movie. No, this movie was dope. I'm really glad we watched it, and I loved it. One thing that I thought was interesting in my research, this movie is beloved by so many people, but it also seems like there are so many like critics that absolutely hate this movie, and I was
Huh.
really trying to figure out like what it was about this that people don't like. So I might touch on that a little bit, but I don't want to be seen as a hater, and I want to make it very clear that I thought this movie was awesome.
Yeah, I thought this movie was sick. I I watched it alone, but man, I just wish I had seen it when it was like in theaters. Can you imagine just up on
That is
that
one
big
of my
screen?
notes. Like, I feel like they put this back in theaters every so often just because it is still so popular. And if
Yeah,
we could see this on an IMAX screen, with like, some sick Dolby Vision going or whatever, like
we
that would
should.
just
Yeah,
be mind blowing.
yeah. And I found out that it's Timothy Chalamet's favorite movie. So
Oh, oh, you know what? That's another thing that I did at Space Camp. That is just something that I'm kind of reminded of right now. Was the first time I ever went to one of those big IMAX theaters with like the dome, but you think like they would have shown us like some sort of planetarium thing because we were at Space Camp, but they showed us like a movie. I want to say it was about armadillos. I remember an armadillo featured very prominently in that movie.
hmm,
But
interesting.
yeah, the first time I ever saw something in IMAX was at Space Camp. So really just tying it into our pre-show banter and movies.
There's a lot of good stuff at Space Camp.
Okay,
Uh,
so yes, you want to talk about some themes.
yeah, I scrolled down, so I'm looking at themes. Two big themes for me were obviously space travel and family.
Do you think space travel's a theme?
Yeah, how is that
Like,
not a theme?
I don't know, like when Christopher Nolan was writing this, like the heart of the movie is just space travel.
He wouldn't have focused on it so much and made sure that it was so accurate, or at least the most accurate he could get it, if it wasn't supposed to be a main theme.
Hmm.
Is the main theme just family? That's it?
Yeah, I mean, I think the main theme is so okay. I'm going to get into my complaint about the movie that I think some critics touched on.
Ay, ay, ay.
Katie said this about Wuthering Heights. She really enjoyed it, but it had almost no substance. I think that is true of this movie as well. The
Really?
the point of this movie is what love conquers all, love transcends time and space. That is like the most
Yeah,
derivative,
who would write
boring
that? That's
theme.
stupid.
It's a fucking Hallmark card. Like it's as deep as a Hallmark card. It is an awesome movie that just the main theme is just kind of cheesy and just like the most hacky, like I don't know, fifth grade Paul could have written that theme. Like, come on. It's so
So,
lame.
would you
But
rather
good.
that they only focused on space and space travel? Like, made it just a straight up, like, astronaut movie?
I don't even know if I have a problem with the theme Love Conquers All, but it's so trite and just like it's so basic. Like literally the big MacGuffin of this movie is his love for his daughter.
Yeah. Poor Tom.
Yeah, he really did forget that he had a son.
He really forgot most of that time that he had a son. I'm sure he would have like packed up Murph if they were actually just gonna leave after the dustings, and he would have just been like, "Oh shit, my son," like leaving him at a Toys R Us.
Yeah. So I just don't think there's a lot of substance to the movie. Whereas there's a lot of, I guess if you're going to say space travel is the theme, there's a lot of substance to that. They put a lot of work into getting that right and making this movie really cool. But I don't know.
Well,
Love is great. Come on.
his love for his daughter was great. It was great enough for him to pack his life up and leave, knowing that he might not come back.
I guess I do have that as a theme too, that like the responsibility you have um doing the right thing for the greater good even though it might cost you something. Like that's kind of a theme to this movie
Yeah,
if I'm
yeah.
being
Like,
generous.
would you stop a train if it was going to run over only like one person that you knew, but it was a bus full of strangers or whatever. I don't know, whatever that math problem is,
Oh, the
or
trolley problem?
that moral problem. Like
Yeah, who is it? I mean, if it's Katie, I would hit the bus full of strangers. I don't care. What do I care?
well, that's the thing. That's the question.
You're a bunch of strangers.
Would you save one for many or many for one?
Who's the one? I would definitely save the
I
one
don't
if I
know.
like them.
It can be whomever you choose, but for him, he was thinking about the greater good, the world.
The fate of humankind. Yes, he was.
Yeah. And he had that riding on his back, him and Anne Hathaway both.
But then it seems like he almost immediately regrets that, because the whole time he's like bitching that like I can't spend too much time doing this. I've got to get home. Like, I don't know, why'd you go in the first place,
dinner.
man?
Yeah. No, I agree with that, but I disagree with you that love does not conquer all. I think that got me connected more, and maybe in some sense the movie needed that to counteract the whole space and that kind of thing, because it was so at times hard to understand, and you needed something to kind of grasp onto, and it's easy to grasp onto the love for your family members. And maybe I'm just thinking as somebody who's like not currently into space. I don't know. But
so you think
that
he
was
gave
the
it
part
like
that
the
got
most
me.
like trite, cliched, boring message of all time to counteract the fact that time and stuff is weird?
I don't know what to think. I don't think it is. I think you're a little what do you call it? A little, what's the word I'm looking for?
Awesome.
No.
Okay,
No.
well, I don't. That's really. I don't think there's a lot going on theme wise. Sometimes we can get like 5 or 6 themes, but there's not a lot of themes here. Love's cool.
That's what I mean. Just for me, it's space and family. So maybe that's why I pulled that one out, because I don't want to say it's not deep, but there wasn't multiple things for you to kind of
It's not deep.
look at and grasp onto.
I mean,
Did
I
it
love
need to
love.
be though?
Love
I
is
mean,
cool.
did it
No,
need
it
to
doesn't
be?
need to be. And again, I like this movie a lot. I thought it was great. So it's just not deep.
So you're just really grasping at something to be not right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying this movie didn't have a theme. The theme is very clearly stated in the movie that love is a force like gravity that can, I don't know, go through black holes or whatever. And that's cool. I love love. Like I said, I love my wife so much that I would kill a bus full of people for her or whatever. So
Do you think it would have been better or worse in your opinion than if the love was maybe a wife as opposed to like the family? Like maybe if
I
he
actually
was
really
doing it
liked
all
the
for Dr.
relationship between.
Brand.
No, I would have hated that more. I actually really liked the relationship between Coop and Murph. I thought it was great. I
Yeah.
actually think if they had added romance between him and Brand, it would have made the movie, much worse.
You don't think that the ending was hinting at like a romantic arc to start?
That wasn't how I took it, but we can get to that when we talk about the ending.
Okay. We can definitely talk about that because, okay, we'll talk about that. I'm not even going to say what I was thinking.
Okay, so there's nothing else we really have to say about themes since this movie is so shallow when it comes to themes. So we should move on to thoughts on the cast. And we both agree that the theme of this movie is lame. Katelynn hates love.
Nope.
Clip it.
Didn't say that.
Katelynn, say you hate love so we can clip it.
I love love. Okay, so first cast, Matthew McConaughey. What do you think about McConaughey?
So I was looking at his filmography, and I know the like memes of Matthew McConaughey more than I actually know him for really any performances that he's done. You know, the all right guy, or there's like being in stupid car commercials. Or even I think like the meme of him just crying from this movie is a big internet thing. And so yeah, just kind of knowing him from more of like a goofy persona, I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about him like leading an action movie, and he was great. I thought he definitely sold the character. Like his kind of like, I don't know, folksy drawl really lend itself to like, I want to say it was almost kind of like a Han Solo character, like, this old shit again or whatever. Like, yeah.
That's funny that you say that because that was actually the one gripe that I had was his accent coming out in some scenes. I specifically noted the scene where he went to the school for the little parent-teacher conference, and he was really southern drawl there. And I just thought, I'm like, it just slowed me down for a moment. Like it kind of made me think it was more Matthew McConaughey than it was Cooper. I think that's his full name, right? Cooper.
His last name's Cooper, yeah.
Yeah, like, so I just thought that it was kind of an interesting choice. I I wrote down that this movie really reminded me of Armageddon, probably because that's one of the other space movies that I've seen.
Blind
But
spot.
they, boom. Uh, but when you really want like a strong leading man, like a Bruce Willis type, I don't know that I would have gone for Matthew McConaughey. But I think in the end he was the right choice because he was he's an every man. You can kind of picture yourself like he was a farmer, he was a father, and it was like you could have also just been picked to lead this NASA space thing. You can insert yourself into the Matthew McConaughey kind of role and character. So in the end, he did pull it off for me. And he was hot. He was just hot right then. Like being in tons of movies, he was the leading man of the hour.
Yeah. He sold himself as being really competent, and I could believe that he was the kind of guy that they needed to complete this mission, or like, because why couldn't someone else fly it? Who knows? But in the end, I think it did have to be him, and he was good at selling himself as that
Yeah,
for
and he had
me.
that good kind of, you mentioned Han Solo, like that rogue attitude. Like he was the one that was going to take those risks. Like when they were trying to
Hmm.
redock it, or he was, pulling it so fast and they're like, you got to slow down, whatever they were saying. And he waited till like the last second and it actually worked. Like you
Yeah.
believe it because Matthew McConaughey's is kind of a cowboy, kind of that cowboy like action,
Yeah, he's kind of just got that little, I think roguish attitude's really good. Like, his punishment for his daughter getting in a fist fight at school is taking him to a baseball game. Like, that's dope. He's like,
There you
he's not
go.
going to put up with any shit.
Mm-hmm. What about Anne Hathaway?
It's funny, in my research for this, I heard so many people with like just polar opposite opinions. Like, some
Yeah.
people said they thought this was her worst performance ever, and some people said they thought this was her best performance ever. For
Was
me,
this
I'd
during
say
like the Anne Hathaway like hate-a-sance, like when everybody was hating her?
I honestly don't. I didn't look at the dates of the podcast. So one I think was from 2025, and they both agreed that they did not like her performance. And I think one was from um around the time Dunkirk came out, because I think it was Blank Check when they were doing Nolan for Dunkirk. So that was a while ago, and they both liked Anne Hathaway's performance. So it's just really funny to hear different critics and like just on opposite ends of the spectrum. Like I would not say it's her favorite performance of mine. I really like her as Selena Kyle in the Batman movie, but I didn't think she was
Yeah,
bad. I'd said she was a solid like 6 of 10 for me. Like this isn't her knocking it out of the park, but she wasn't like offensive.
I agree. I think 6 out of 10 sounds good. I don't know, she just played it like really cold at the start, which makes sense like for her character. But I'd like to know the dates and just know if that was during, like I said, when everybody was just not loving her for some reason.
Yeah, can you
Um
explain that more to me? Like I remember that was a thing, but I never really had a problem with Anne Hathaway,
yeah,
so I
it
don't
was
know why
like
we hated her.
she cut her hair short. She had a few roles, and then I think she just like was giving interviews and was not being very nice. And so like Hollywood just turned on her. And there
Hmm.
was a while where I mean, it wasn't like she wasn't getting work, but nobody wanted to talk to her. Nobody liked her.
Hmm.
It was
Well, I
really
never had
weird.
an Anne Hathaway problem, and I thought she was perfectly fine in the movie. There's nothing about the performance that I think is. I don't know why you would call this one of her best performances, because I don't think she really has that much to work with. But, and I kind of see
Mm-mm.
why she's cold. Like she kind of has to shut herself off because like they say, most of the people that go on this mission don't have a lot of attachments, and she's
Yeah.
leaving her dad behind. She knows that she'll probably never see her dad again. she I think she says from her perspective she hasn't seen the man that she loves in 10 years. He's the one on the third planet that she wants to get to, so she's losing what she has left, and she potentially has already lost everything that she
Yeah, I'd
cares
be
about.
pissed. I'd be cold too.
So yeah, and I think they intentionally didn't want to play up the romance between the two. So having her come across a
I
little
agree.
colder is,
So she should be a little
yeah.
more. Yeah.
So good. I like you, man. I was never
We
part
like
of
you, Anne.
the haters.
And we're really excited for the next Princess Diaries.
Is that a thing?
I hope so.
Well, we've got Devil Wears Prada too. Is that a Katelynn thing?
Huh? Yeah,
Okay.
that's a Caleb thing very much. Do you see
Um.
how excited I got?
So like yeah, the rest of the supporting cast, the other astronauts, not a huge part of the movie. what's his face gets killed pretty quickly on Miller's
Doyle.
planet. Doyle, yeah, and then yeah, we've got David Gessie as Professor Romilly, and he's in the movie more. And I thought he maybe had a little more to work with, the fact that he was kind of alone by himself on the ship for 23 years, and he'd been like kind of given up. They aged him up because they
Hmm.
don't say how long he's was in cryo sleep for. Like he was pretty cool.
Yeah, I thought
It's
he
not the
was great
meatiest part, but
actually. He tugged at my heartstrings when they came back
yeah.
onto the ship, and he like I'm sure he'd never spoke out loud. Like, why would you? So he probably didn't say anything to anybody, and you could really just tell that he was like almost afraid. Like, what do I say? Like, what? How does my voice sound? Like, I haven't seen people. I haven't been touched. I haven't. No one's looked at me. Like that kind of thing. And he really did
Yeah.
a really swell job of that. I thought that was a really uh good performance from
And
my perspective.
Matt Damon.
Yeah, Matt Damon, Dick.
Yeah, total dick. I actually thought that was kind of great that he was almost playing against type and came across as such a dick, because I think you can tell almost from moment one that there's something a little bit off about this guy. And obviously he's been alone on an alien planet for I don't even know how long he was supposed to be there, so that would probably make
Yeah.
anyone a little bit off, but you can tell he's
His
a
Looney
shady guy.
Bins, Looney
Hmm.
Tunes.
And yeah, kind of a shorter performance, but he sells everything that he's in.
Yeah,
Like
he
he,
made a huge impact on the
mhm.
movie, and his part made a big impact. So, um, I think it was great to see him. And you're right, going kind of against that typecast because he's usually the on the other side of a Ben Affleck,
Yeah,
not the cool guy. He's that soft golden retriever guy. Um, it
he's
kind
the
of reminds me.
Paul, the classic Paul character.
Sure. It's just like, like in The Rip, where you thought he was being like an asshole the whole time and you thought that he was being deceitful, but he was actually doing
He's really the
the
best
right
guy.
things. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. I didn't put him down though, but I am glad that you brought him up because I'm
Well,
sure
I thought,
people, when they watched the movie, were like, oh my God, Matt Damon.
and I do think he was a good counterbalance between McConaughey and Anne Hathaway's characters, just because they were pretty much going to do the right thing no matter what, and he kind of wants to do the right thing, but for very selfish reasons. Like he's willing to kill everyone because he doesn't want to die. Like he realizes that he's not willing to sacrifice himself for the greater good. He wants the glory and he wants to live. So
Hmm.
since they're kind of just like these morally upright like paragons of virtue, and he is a dick, but I think we can relate to being selfish in situations like that, because I don't know, I'd probably do the same thing. I don't want to die alone in space.
Yeah, putting myself into the situation. I mean, one, I'd never get myself into the situation. I'm
Right,
not
we would
that
both die
girl.
in space.
No, we would die in space, or they would be like, you know what, you're really not cut out for this. Your time at space camp is not going to be enough for you.
Yeah.
Um, but if it came down to it, I mean, one, I don't think I could kill any or try to kill anybody or kill anybody, so I'd probably just have to cry my way off that planet. Like, please, like, take me with you. I can't do this. And I thought, and he did have me at first because when they pulled him out of the cryo sleep, the water sleeping, and he like was hugging on Coop. And the same thing goes that I said for Romley. Like, he
Yeah.
hadn't been touched in so long that just he needed to feel like another human. And you don't
And at that
realize
point,
how
you don't know if you'll
lonely.
ever see another human again. Like, there's a
Yeah,
chance you might, like, Romilly just being in space, like, I don't know, he could have killed himself. Like, you just stay there for 23 years with no contact, not knowing
yeah,
if these people are coming back at all. So,
right.
yeah.
What did you think about Timothy?
Oh, he's fine. He, he's not in the movie that he doesn't really. This isn't a Timothy acting showcase for even the amount
No,
of movie
no,
that
by
he's
no
in.
means, but he was in it way longer than the people led me to believe. I mean, the
Yeah.
jokes are always like, oh, he's only in it for like 5 minutes. Oh, he's only in it like a small bit. But he was in it much longer than I thought that he was. Um, but, like we said, clearly the forgotten child. If he had only been into science and less of the farming, he probably would have been more of a
Well, he
prominent
had to grow that corn for
feature.
people on Earth, like
Gotta
they
grow
only
that
had corn
corn.
to eat, so we needed farmers too. Not like they didn't have a point. What are we going to do without our only source of nutrients?
Yeah.
What did you think about Mackenzie Foy? Renesmee.
I thought she was great. She's just sweet. She's just a sweet looking little girl, and she was. she just was smart. She just the way that she read her lines, whatever, she was smart. I didn't really have much to say about her,
I
actually.
thought I thought she was good on like I thought the point in the movie when it's McConaughey and her, like the relationship between that version of him and that version of her is the most emotionally affecting for me
Like the most
because you
heartfelt
don't
for you?
yeah, you don't actually ever get to see Chastain and a McConaughey together,
Yeah,
so that
that's
one
true.
didn't work as well for me, and there's just something about Jessica Chastain that just didn't work for me, and I don't know if that's just me, but I actually thought Mackenzie Foy, for a kid actor, I have not seen Breaking Dawn, so I can't tell you how she was as Renesmee. It's Renesmee, right?
Yeah,
The
it
little
is
baby that grows
Renesmee.
up fast because I don't know.
Yeah,
Um,
named after the moms, Renee and Esme.
sure. Uh, yeah,
We'll
I
get
just
into
thought
that during
it,
Twilight
it
Month.
was good, and there's nothing like aggressively wrong with Jessica Chastain either, but it just I don't know something about it just it was flat to me, and that could
It
just be
felt
a me
stiff.
thing. Yeah.
No, it felt like a stiff performance, and I feel bad because I do love Jessica Chastain, but she's Bryce Dallas Howard. Like they're the same person. Like they look
Mm.
exactly the same. And and how did she get red hair? Her mom must have had red hair. You don't think that
Uh,
you didn't notice that?
So didn't they both have red hair?
Who? Coop? No.
Mackenzie Foy?
No, she had brown hair.
Pretty sure it was red.
Are you sure?
I don't know. I guess we can go watch it
It's a
again.
great debate. It's the great
Yeah.
debate.
This is what the people want.
we'll, we'll
Who
never
else was
know.
in the movie? There was such a
I did Michael Caine was the only other one that I
oh,
wrote down.
yeah, the real villain of the movie, I guess. But it's about making those sacrifices for the good of humanity. He has to make the hard choice, and he does. And he's sending his own daughter away too, so it's
Yeah,
personal for him.
right. Exactly. Yeah, he did make that hard choice. But I just wrote that I love him. Would you say he's kind of Nolan's muse? Is he the Johnny Depp to his Tim Burton?
Oh, I feel like Nolan's got several muses because Cillian Murphy, obviously, Anne Hathaway,
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's true. And Christian Bale.
Christian Bale. I mean, we've got Matt Damon coming back for the Odyssey.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Nolan is one of those people, like a Wes Anderson, that really, when he finds actors
He's
that
got like a
he
grouping.
likes to stick with them. Yeah.
He's got a little group that he likes to bring around.
And also there was Bill Irwin as Tars, also great
Okay.
performance. So
I love the robots.
did you know a lot of it was practical effects and Bill Irwin was actually on set? Like his background, he's got a background in like literally he's gone to clown college, but he's got a background in puppetry too. So he was controlling that and doing the voice.
Yeah.
So that was kind of cool. I didn't know that. I guess I would have just assumed it was mostly CGI or something, but really cool that it was. I mean, that's probably why it looks so good because it actually is real.
I mean, I don't know where we want to like put this under, but the robots were especially fun. I think that they moved so well. So yeah,
Hmm.
that's him. And I think we could really learn a lot from this movie if we're not doing those in space travel. Like of course like whatever the coding on the back end to make them learn, but the way that they moved I think was most important to me cuz like he even like his arms came out and he was able to hold Dr.
Hmm.
Brand, and then when he had to move fast they started rolling. So they were all just like real what do you call like movable. They
Movable.
were all
Yeah, they
just
were
really
movable
movable
robots.
around. Yes, they were just like they were almost bendy, but not. You know what I mean? Like I thought that was fascinating, just how they moved, and I was worried for them a couple times. I was worried for Tars because they're like get in, like get in. The door was open and it's filling with water, and he's just brrr, like rolls in. Like
Yeah.
I would think of him as like another crewmate, and that's another reason I can't be allowed on any of these space missions is because that would be my friend.
You
That is my
wouldn't be
friend.
willing to sacrifice Tars for the greater good.
No. Mm-mm. No. He is my real pal now.
Yeah. Yeah, I did read that Nolan wanted them to look like that because he's like, well, we already have robots people already look like people. Like, we don't need to make robots that look like people. Why don't we make robots that can do things that are unique? So that was cool because when you first see Tars, when he's kind of interrogating him when he gets to NASA, I didn't even realize it was a robot at first. I thought it was just like I don't know, an intercom or something with a computer screen on it until
Mm.
it actually moved. And I was like, oh, that's a robot. What's going on here? So yeah, really
Yeah.
cool design. And I did really like all the robots.
Agreed. Robots are good. I mean, in that sense.
Yeah. So that's
in
that's
that
everything
sense.
on the cast, right? Is there anyone else that you want to touch on, or
Those are the
re-
people. That's what I
yeah?
got.
All right. Well, do you want to just wrap it up now?
You want to do some cinematic moments
Cinematic moments or plot
and
moments?
favorites?
Anything?
Well, we already
Favorites?
kind of talked about the plot, and you thought that it was weak and thin,
No,
like a little
I
paper
mean,
envelope.
no, because the plot is them traveling through space. Like, the theme is weak and thin. The plot's good. I like the plot. It's space travel. I guess I
Okay,
think
talk
space
about the plot.
travel is part of the plot more than I don't know. Okay, I really like that. I like how it's revealed that it's a dystopian future, and you don't really realize that at first because it kind of just looks like now. And then you're like, you see some robots, you're like, oh, it's the future, but it's just like it's normal stuff, just slightly worse. So I thought that was cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
everything in space.
scary.
Like, okay, so them going to all the different planets was awesome. Miller's planet, like, I don't know. I might want to live there. I like the ocean.
No.
I mean, the waves probably would kill you,
No.
but what if you could just get to like that little island and then there were like really good dolphins that were really good at swimming? Doesn't that seem dope?
I
No.
I mean, if it's too cold for people to survive, I don't think dolphins are surviving. There's not gonna be a
Oh
pod.
yeah, probably
Not gonna be a
right.
pod of dolphins.
I mean, we could have taken the dolphins with us. We should have figured out how to do that. So humankind eventually evolves into five-dimensional beings, but they can't figure out how to give better directions. Like, really, it's just like a wormhole that goes to some planets. They couldn't like communicate in a better way which planet to go to so that we don't die on the water planet. Like, who's in charge of the directions here? Katelynn?
Oh, come on. How did I get dogged? I got dogged in space.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I have any other plot thoughts. That's just some of the notes that I had to get through. We can talk about cinematic moments. Oh, spoil this right now. Cinematic moments and favorite moments, mine really are basically the same thing. That could just be one
Yeah, I
category.
tried to come up with ones that were different, but they mostly kind of came out the same. Um, Cinematically, the docking scene was one of the most intense things I've seen in a while. As far as my pits sweating, and then my palms also got a little bit sweaty, and I even looked at Charlie and I'm like, "Oh my God, he's gonna try to dock it." And Charlie's like, he didn't he
He
didn't
didn't
care.
believe you? Oh.
No, he didn't really care. But I think overall people say that that's one of the the most heightened and most cinematically pleasing and kind of crazy scenes from this movie. Um, just insanely intense for me. So,
I think when they go through the wormhole the first time and they're like, well, how do you go through here? And then, well, who knows? And just, yeah, kind of like the instrument shutting down a little bit and all the beeping and then the like hand coming through and Anne Hathaway
oh,
doing the handshake.
yeah.
Like, really just everything about this movie is so beautiful. I mean, we already said if we could see this in IMAX, it would be just breathtaking, but I think there's pretty much nothing set in space that just doesn't look amazing.
I put you mentioned the sound and things like that. I did put that under favorite moments because see, I
Mhm.
didn't know. They were intertwined for me. Um so like the soundtrack plus just the way that sound was used. And
Oh,
especially
yeah.
in that moment you just mentioned, going through the wormhole and it was just like sound was gone for a second.
Mhm.
And I imagine that if I, made my way into a wormhole, that it would probably sound like that, like nothing. And that's probably the scariest part of space, right? Is the nothingness.
The nothingness. That's what I've heard. I don't know. I haven't been to
Yeah.
space. I've just been to space camp, and I
You're
was with
closer to
several
space than I
friends.
am. That's closer to space than I'll ever be. Uh, excuse me. And then, oh, you already mentioned Miller's Planet. Um, but I'll just say, like I said, I had heard a lot about Miller's Planet, so I kind of had anticipation of what I was going to see when I got there. And it looks scary and uninhabitable and cold, and I don't like it.
Wait, wasn't Miller's planet the water planet? Because isn't Man's planet the cold one?
No, Matt Damon,
Matt
his
Damon's
planet.
character's name is Man, Doctor Man.
Oh my God. I called it Miller's Planet.
Because Miller's planet's the water one, right? That's the first one they go to.
Okay. I'm glad you're here because this is what happens to me
And
is I
then
get
Wolf's
myself all
planet
mixed
is
up.
the third one because Wolf is the guy that Anne Hathaway was in love with, and
Mhm.
yeah,
Okay. So I'm talking about Matt Damon's planet then.
Edmonds. Yeah,
Looks
yeah, Matt
awful,
Damon's planet. The
uninhabitable, cold, but I guess it could be a place to create new life. Yuck.
I don't think it was. Wasn't the atmosphere mostly ammonia? Like they couldn't survive without their
I
helmets?
thought wasn't it better if he went down and that's why he was showing him that lower portion where he was going to kill him?
Oh no, he was lying about that.
Oh, I got fooled by Matt Damon. I keep
Yeah,
getting
because if
fooled
they
by
could
Matt
have
Damon.
actually made life there, he wouldn't have needed to leave and try to get to the third planet.
Right. Okay. Um, but I think even when he's walking them through and walking them over the mountains, he just says like it's beautiful but terrifying or something to that effect.
Hmm.
And I think I agree with that. Um, but just yeah, cinematically beautiful. And
A fun
then
fact about that planet: did you know that that is actually the only one in the movie where they actually filmed it on a foreign planet?
I didn't know it was the only one, but I do remember reading that it was like Antarctica or something, right?
Oh, see, I just said it was another planet, and you just kind of bought it.
Sometimes Antarctica's so far that it feels like another planet. The other
What?
one, so these are under my favorite. At the end, Cooper and Murph finally seeing each other again. It was a very short scene. There really wasn't much to it, but I mean, when you think about it, you haven't seen your father for 90 years at that point. She also froze herself so she could see him, and he left when she was like what, 8, 10?
I think 12, 10, 10, 12.
I don't fucking know the age of kids. But it's like they didn't even have that much time together. And most of their stuff was being shared just from her perspective, like sending him those videos. So I think a short conversation was probably what would happen anyway, right? Like what else do you say? I'm about to die. I'm glad you're
She's lived
here.
her full life without him. She's surrounded by
Yeah.
her entire family that she has. She's already solved gravity and saved humankind. They're essentially
Nothing left to
strangers to
do.
each other. Like she
Exactly.
recognizes that he never forgot about her and he was her ghost, but they are strangers, you know.
Mhm. Yeah.
She's 60 years older than him at that point. She's lived a longer and more fulfilling life than yeah. I think it was kind of weird. Like kind of get it. Like we were encroaching on 3 hours at that point, and they needed to get to the ending. But like he didn't make any effort to get to know her family. Like a lot of those were his grandkids or his great grandkids, and he cared so much
You
about
just
Murph
left.
that yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, what do we need? Like a hi, nice to meet you. Hi, nice to meet you.
I
Hi,
mean,
nice to meet you.
maybe family and love transcend everything. So can't we see
But it
his
only
love for his?
transcended for Murph.
Oh, only his daughter. I
Yeah, it only
forgot.
transcended for her.
Fuck you,
Uh,
Casey Affleck.
and then, like I said at the beginning, I mean, that bookshelf reveal, when I noticed that that's what was happening, when the colors started like delineating to be a little more separated, I go,
It's a little bit more
oh my
bookish.
God.
Yeah.
I looked at Charlie again because it was a me and Charlie movie. I looked at Charlie. I go, oh my God, it's the bookshelf. Charlie, she's on the other side. It got me. It
Got
really
you?
got me.
Because you think love
Yeah.
transcends time and space.
Well, I also just think that you spend that whole movie, like, you know, she's talking about this ghost and like she's getting all these signs and like all this other stuff. And then you spend that whole, it was just like all these little sprinkles throughout. Cause even like the handshake on the spacecraft and Anne puts her, hand into it and it looks like she's like melting into it. And that's
Hmm.
him. Like, come on. It's like now everything, it's not that it didn't make sense, but it just
It
made
all
even more
clicked.
sense.
Yeah.
It all
Yeah.
clicked into place. Yeah. And so for me, seeing that he was behind the bookshelf and he's popping them out, and then he started like dropping the dust so that it would say stay, and then at the beginning when she was like, I think it's trying to tell him stay, it's trying to say
Hmm.
stay, Dad, and oh my gosh, who thinks of that? Like who writes that?
Christopher and Jonathan Nolan.
Yeah, I didn't know he had a brother. I was like, oh, how fun.
You knew he had a brother. He did Westworld. You watched Westworld. Tell me, you watched Westworld.
Oh my God, he did.
Yeah.
All right. Do you have any other favorite or cinematic?
I think we've touched on everything that I just, it's amazing to me that this movie is 12 years old and it looks as good as it does. Like,
Yeah.
we
Feels
don't
like
need
it
to
was
make
just
fun of
yesterday.
Frankenstein yet again, but remember the wolves in
I
Frankenstein
didn't
and how
make fun
bad
of
they
it.
looked? But
I didn't freaking make
th-
fun of
th-
it.
this movie just looks amazing.
All right, so what do you think about the ending then, other
So I
than
guess
what we've mentioned?
another flaw, I think it's just a little too nice. It's sweet, but I think that is a flaw that I think Christopher Nolan has. He's too much of a sweetie. He's afraid to give us a real bad ending. Like, I think he should have died. He should have died in the black hole. Like that would have been
Yeah,
how
because it
I ended the
doesn't
movie.
really make sense that he just made it out. It
And they
just
just
kind of
happened to
reminds
find
me.
him.
Yeah, it just kind of reminds me, I think it was recent within the last couple days that Michael Caine did an interview and they asked him about the ending of Inception because the debate is still, is he
Did the
in
top fall
the
or
dream
yeah.
or not? And he said that he was in reality. He said anytime that he, specifically Michael Caine's character, was in a scene, he was in reality. And it's like, that's kind of what you're saying there, is that it could have been the ending that he wasn't. Like, he did not make it and he was still in the dream world. And
Yeah.
so in the same vein, at the end of this movie, he gets back into the pod because he realizes, well, hey, I got really nothing left here. My daughter just died. My son's dead. The world is like some weird 3D half round version of
It's
itself.
a ring world. Like Halo. The video game Halo, how there's
I do know the
Halo
video
is a
game
ring
Halo, but
world.
I didn't play Halo.
Okay, well, it's a ring world.
Well, but that's what I'm saying, is like, he was like, fuck it, like there's nothing really left for me here. So my only question is when do we see Interstellar 2 saving Dr. Brand?
I honestly would think that would be awesome. I would definitely watch a sequel to this movie where them starting a new colony on a different planet.
Yeah, that'd be
I
sick.
I honestly, if you're gonna keep him alive, I kind of would have liked the end of the movie to maybe see his like ship coming into orbit while she's like standing on the planet, like she sees the ship like showing up to, you know, you don't even have to
So
see
you
them
do
together
want it to be
again.
hopeful.
If you're gonna make it hopeful, I would have liked that better. I don't need to rewrite the ending of the movie. If it were up to me, he would have died in the black hole. Like that, you shouldn't. There had to be some sort of. I guess the sacrifice is that he didn't get to like watch his daughter grow up, and like he only gets to reunite with her on her deathbed. But it was just a little too nice for me, for my taste, and
I'm
I
not
get
usually
it.
a fan of people dying. Like, John's very like, if they were, and he's not a bad person, so this example doesn't go, but like, if they're a bad person, they should die, kind of thing. But I think you're right in this sense because it again reminds me of Armageddon. Should I spoil it for you? Is that gonna be a spoiler?
Bruce Willis dies, right?
Well, yeah, Bruce Willis dies,
Yeah,
and then you just, I weep every single time, and it could have been that kind of ending. Like, maybe he sends out one last transmission. I don't know,
yeah.
and
It's
saves
still,
the world posthumously through his death.
yeah, it was still fun. Like I'm not gonna be too upset about it. And oh, I guess like we talked about this earlier. I just think it wasn't necessarily romantic between him and Brand, but like at that point in their lives, they're the only two
They're
people
the only two people who know what they
at
went through.
all, yeah, that they can relate to each other. Like there's no one else that they can relate to that has had this
Yep,
experience. So they kind of do have to find each other again because yeah, they're
that's it.
alien to everyone else at that
That's
point,
freaking it.
Because what is
Yeah,
she gonna do? Like put herself in cryosleep as like the eggs and whatever like incubate and like then she's just gonna like raise all these babies by herself like I don't know. I don't really
yeah.
know what the
He
plan
kind of
was for her
kind
by
of has
herself
to.
like on that baby planet, but yeah.
Yeah,
That's
kind of
it.
has to
I
there.
still I still think it's a good ending. I don't want to seem like I'm just a total negative Nancy. Like I like the ending. It was just a little too sweet for me.
That's okay. I liked it.
And
I
maybe
like they
just
put their whole
I'm a mean
they put
jaded
their
person,
whole
but
space OC into it.
yeah.
Do you have any miscellaneous thoughts?
The fucking music.
The fucking music.
The music is so good. When I was talking to friend of the pod, Matt Turner, about this, he said if he had been
I've
on
heard
the
of him.
Interstellar episode, he would just have talked about the music the entire time because it is so good. And
Well,
I
we
don't
need a
know,
little bit more.
yeah, so it's probably not that interesting to say how great Hans Zimmer is at this point because I think we've
We
listened
know
to
that,
however
yeah.
many scores. But yeah, I hadn't listened to this score before because it's the first time I ever saw the movie, and I don't often just listen to movie scores of movies that I haven't seen. And yeah, this was just, it was lights out.
Yeah, I mean, I heard most of these songs before just through random videos and things like that, but it's rare that music can make you feel like that, like the way that it makes you feel. Because even not watching the movie and just listening to one of the songs, I start tearing up. Like, it makes you feel something.
Yeah.
We need more music that makes you feel something.
BTS. Let me tell you about this little band.
BTS makes me feel something. The only thing that I wanted to say miscellaneously was that, like, I don't want to sound basic, but this movie really jumped up in my list. Probably in my top 20 just from one watch.
One watch. See, I
Yeah.
would have to give it another watch before I think I could give it a definitive, like, top however many of all time. But, I mean, if we're giving it letterbox stars, 4.5 I might have been bitching a lot just to kind of have a contrary opinion, but I love this movie. It was great.
Yeah. I'm I'm very pleased with it. I'm happy that I watched it. Um,
It was edge of my seat the
it's
entire
great.
time. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
It
Yeah, how were your pits?
I don't just sweat watching movies, especially at home,
Yes.
but
Yeah.
I don't know. It was a capital F film. This is why we go to the movies, Caitlin. So,
What's that mean? Capital F?
like film with a capital F.
Oh,
It's important. So
film
you're
with an F.
capitalizing
Okay.
the
Mhm.
F. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. Well, I think that concludes our conversation on Interstellar. Watch it.
Yeah, if you take our recommendations to mean anything and you haven't seen this movie, you should watch it because it rules. And if you
Yep.
disagree, we will have you as a guest on the podcast and we can talk about it.
Yeah, but it's just going to be you telling us why you thought it was not good. And we
Yeah.
just
And
stare
it's
at
not going
you.
to be a podcast that we air or record.
It's just a waste of everyone's time. All right. Do you have any non-movie shout-outs?
So I've been playing a video game a lot lately too called Mugenics. It is a game about breeding cats and then you send the cats to do battles and it's a lot of fun. And I also just finished a book called Black Sun, which is a kind of a classic fantasy novel, but from a Native American perspective. And it's like, instead of a medieval setting, it's kind of a what if the Native American culture had kind of just like, but there's also fantasy and magic and stuff too. So cool, fun
Oh,
book.
interesting.
And good
You
video
found
game too. Mugenics.
Mugenics, and then the video
Mugenics.
game Pokemon Z to A.
Is that still your only non-movie shout out?
No. My non-movie shout out, it actually changed. I want to give a shout out to all women's Olympic athletes and the Paralympic athletes, especially the women's hockey team. They took home the gold, I would say, in more ways than one. And declining
My
that
heart.
backhanded invite was exactly what they should have done. And the men should have done it too. I'm ashamed of them. And so I wrote down, because I'm seeing it on the internet, they said, congrats on being winners, but you're also the biggest losers.
I'm fine with that. Go women's hockey. And the women's figure skaters, I gave a shout out to Amber Glenn last time, but now that I know more about the rest, like them repping Chainsaw Man and talking about their favorite anime like the
Oh,
entire
yeah,
2
they were
weeks.
talking about anime all the time. Yeah.
Love them. So shout out, ladies. I will probably forget about figure skating in a week or two, but I'm following you on Instagram now, so you'll be in my hearts forever. And I'll take anime recs from you.
Sick. You want to say what movie we're watching next, or you want me to do it?
We are gonna be watching. I mean, it's on Instagram, but we're gonna be watching a comedy. This was a heavy one, and I think all of the rest of the movies are probably gonna be heavy ones. So we're gonna lighten it up a little bit and watch Galaxy Quest.
Which I remember distinctly renting from the library many times.
I've never seen it.
It's been
So
a
this is-
while, so
Okay.
yeah, it's far out of my brain, but
Well, I tell you never to drink on the pod, but maybe you should drink like the day before, just a ton of liquor so you can kind of kill some brain cells and try to specifically target your Galaxy Quest brain cells.
yeah,
See if you can do
definitely.
that. Okay.
Sounds like a great plan.
All right. Well.
Well, after
that's-
that, make sure you like and subscribe to our show. We're so happy to be continuing to do this for you guys. So please just give us a rating. Follow us on Instagram at theme.onscreen. Follow us on Letterboxd, Theme on Screen. And if you're watching us on YouTube, that's Theme on Screen also. And I'm not doing my makeup for nothing, so watch us there. Wink.
Same. I am also not doing my makeup.
All right. Anything else?
Yeah, I don't know. Is this the worst episode we've done?
Nah.
Good.
Second
Okay,
worst.
well, second worst. It's good to be back, everyone.
Glad
Thanks
to
for
have you.
listening.
Thank you, everybody. Have a good week. Goodbye.